What's up guys, today's video is on Canon PIXMA TS205 Review 2023. Home printers come in all shapes and sizes these days, from compact family all-in-ones to larger LaserJets that are essentially scaled-down versions of your typical office or copier. But what to go for if you want a printer that just prints? The Canon PIXMA TS205 is about as bare bones as it gets. It's a small, lightweight color printer that connects to your laptop or desktop via a USB cable. It doesn't even feature Wi-Fi support, which means no printing documents or photos from your phone or tablet. For buyers who only print documents and photos once in a blue moon and aren't in any way fussed about secondary features such as scanning, copying, or queuing print jobs from a mobile app, the Canon PIXMA TS205 might be the printer they're looking for. Design and features. The Canon PIXMA TS205 is one of the lightest printers out there, weighing a mere 2.5 kilograms. That perhaps isn't surprising, given that it's a cheap, single-purpose device, but in practical terms, it means that getting the unit out of the box and setting it up is no bother at all. Likewise, moving it around when you're feng shuiing your desk space should prove effortless. One thing you'll notice straight away is the lack of display on the control panel. This is a bit of a drawback, since it means you're not able to keep tabs on ink levels as easily. This is further compounded by the lack of mobile app support. Most printer apps will allow you a quick peek at ink level, among other things. If you want to check ink levels on the TS205, there's a button on the control panel that will print out an estimate for you. Despite the absence of a display, the TS205 is still easy to set up and use. You'll need to download the relevant Windows and Mac drivers from Canon's website first of all, and then connect the printer to your machine via the USB port. That's the other thing to note, there's no USB cable included in the box. Given how easy cables are to come by, this isn't the worst thing ever. Once you're connected, and you've printed out a quick calibration test page, you're good to go. Controls on the device are simple. Next to the power switch is a control for manually switching print settings if you're using different sized paper, and the aforementioned ink level checker tool. The Canon PIXMA TS205 is clever enough to automatically detect when you've dropped different sized sheets of paper into the hopper. Despite its low price, and being made of fantastic plastic, it's remarkable how uncheap the Canon PIXMA TS205 looks and feels. The only component that feels a little flimsy is the cartridge cradle. Attaching the PG545 black and CL546 color ink cartridges actually cause some concern, since it requires a bit more force than you'd expect to clip them in. The cradle doesn't feel super reassuring. Aside from that, nothing about the Canon PIXMA TS205's build quality should cause worry. Print speed and quality. The Canon PIXMA TS205 takes roughly 5 minutes 6 seconds to print out a single-page document, and took a little over half a minute to print the 5-page test document, which works out at 7.73 pages per minute. The 20-page test document took over 2.5 minutes to finish being printed. 1 page of color graphics took 31 seconds, while a 5-page file took 1 minute 43 seconds. The big 20-page graphics file took considerably longer at 8 minutes 45 seconds, or 2.28 pages per minute. A color photo printed on plain A4 took under a minute, while printing on glossy A4 photo paper took quite a bit longer, at 3 minutes 58 seconds. Printing on a smaller 10x15mm glossy sheet took 1 minute 7 seconds. The Canon PIXMA TS205 is aimed squarely at the kind of buyer who will likely only be printing of a few sheets every month, and mostly single-page documents at that. And in this sense, and this sense only, print speeds of the TS205 are acceptable. When you come to printing larger documents, you'll notice that, compared to other printers such as the Epson XP7010 or the Canon PIXMA TS7450, the TS205's shortcomings become apparent. This is excusable, to be honest, since the TS205 isn't for people who need to print stacks of pages. If that's you, then point your browser towards the best printers roundup for something more suitable. What's less excusable is the fact that documents are very prone to smudging when they first come out of the TS205. It's all too easy to accidentally brush a corner of a not yet dry page with your thumb, and then that document is spoiled. Thankfully, pages take but a few seconds to dry. However, if you're used to grabbing something almost as soon as it emerges from a printer, you're going to end up with some rather inky fingers here. Print quality is otherwise pretty good, especially text and photos printed on glossy paper. Copy looks neat and crisp on the default setting, and photos look rich and natural, too. Results are a lot nicer than you might expect from a budget printer. Color graphics are middling, as are photos printed on plain A4. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you have something to say, please leave a comment.